Hey y'all, welcome back to As Told by Kenya. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the premiere episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. I was doing Real Housewives of Atlanta reviews last season, but here is the thing. I told you guys once Real Housewives of Atlanta got bad, because I was sure it was going to get bad, I was going to stop doing reviews, and of course it got bad, so I stopped watching it, so I didn't have any more to say. I never finished the Real Housewives of Atlanta season. I for damn sure didn't watch the reunion. I believe the Real Housewives of Atlanta should come to an end the same way the Real Housewives of New York has come to an end. Like, I think the Real Housewives of Atlanta is done over. Like, as long as they're not going to change that raggedy ass cast, like, it's going to continue to be a very bad show. It is not worth your time. But you want to know what is worth your time? Them light-skinned heifers up in Potomac. Like, I am so sorry. Team light skin up over there. Real Housewives of Potomac premiere episode was so good. I am so sorry. It's just so crazy to go from Real Housewives of Atlanta, where it's absolutely dreadful, to come to Real Housewives of Potomac, and it's just so good. This was a really good episode. This episode had just a lot of like meat on the bone, you know. It just had a lot going on. So we start off where we always start off with every single season of Real Housewives of Potomac. At this point, it's just tradition. Karen and Giselle are getting along. Karen and Giselle make up to break up. They make up to break up. They live for the fall. They live for, you know, bringing each other up just to let each other down. That is what they live for, and I am here for it every single time. Oftentimes in Real Housewives, feuds between housewives get old. Like, as you keep arguing over the same shit, it becomes tired. The Karen and Giselle feud never gets old, because they are just frenemies, and I think that's what keeps it so like pure in a way, is that they're frenemies, and like when they do get along, they get along so damn well. So we start off, they are having a picnic. We get our original light-skinned girls all laid out having a picnic. We get Ashley, Robin, Giselle, and Karen. Now, this first little scene is basically the pot and the kettle calling each other light skin here, because here is the thing. They get to talking about Ashley's divorce, and Ashley is saying that she is going to buy a house with Michael even though they are getting divorced. She keeps saying, oh, well, we got to get separated first to get a divorce, but we buying a house in our joint LLC and all of that stuff, and all the girls get to judging. This is not the crowd who get to judge double dipping with your ex, and I'm gonna tell you why. Juan and Robin, that's nothing but double dipping. Like, who knows what's going on with them? Giselle and Jamal Bryant be together, not together. Ray and Karen, every season we hear that Karen sleeping with somebody who, like, who knows if that's true. This is not the crowd to judge anybody for going back. Is you with your man? Is you not with your man? Are you still doing this? Like, this is just not the crowd. Them girls always kind of be with their man, kind of not be with their man. But so this is not the crowd to judge. They also get to talking about Mia, and does she got cancer? Does she not have cancer? I don't know what the hell that is about. I didn't even hear about none of that in the off season, so like, I don't know what that is about. But she put up a post over on Instagram talking about how she, you know, she might be having cancer and all that stuff, and then, you know, who knows what's going on there. Everybody says that it is weird. We see Karen having her back a little bit, saying like, it's not nothing I would do. Let's just talk to the girl. We ain't gotta talk behind the girl back. Let's just talk to the girl and see what she talking about and see like what's going on. So then we move on. We get Candice. Candice is in the building. Candice is deciding if she should freeze her eggs or not. And you know, like, If Candice want to have kids one day, that's probably her best option. But what Candice is figuring out is, she's on tour with the girls and she wants to be this like musician. Here is the thing. I believe dreams are for having. If you have a dream, hold on to that dream. Keep that dream alive. Candice wants to be a singer. Do I think Candice music is good? No. Do I think Candice music is bad? Also no. So if it's for somebody in the world of TikTok, in the world of just viralness, anything could be a hit. Anything could be a hit. Anybody can have a moment. So if Candice wants to do her little singing thing, let Candice do her little singing thing. And Candice is not the most untalented person I've ever seen try to sing. So if she's going to do that, let's do that. But they get to being in the little doctor's office where they're talking about freezing eggs, and they get to acting up in them people's office. They get to arguing in front of the doctor about Chris' work schedule. I come from a place, an old time Potomac fan, when we barely knew if Chris had a job or not. So here is the thing. I think we gotta take what we can get when it comes with Chris. Chris seems like he has a good job right now. He's the general manager at some hotel doing something that I don't even fucking know, but that's fine. That's fine. That's not none of my business. Therefore, I think we need to just be happy Chris has a job. We have come a long way since living in Mama Townhouse. We've just come a long way since then, and I just think we should be happy with what we have with Chris having a job. So you know what? I just think Candice is being too hard on Chris and arguing in front of the doctor about you need to be home, you need to be home, you need to be this, you need to be this. Number one, y'all are freezing eggs. It's not like y'all are actually starting pregnancy. So I don't even know why this conversation needs to be had at this very moment anyway. Y'all freezing eggs to say that y'all don't want to have kids at this very moment. So why are we even having this conversation? Let Chris have his job. But it brings on something that bothers me about Chris and Candice relationship. Chris and Candice relationship, I feel at the root of it, has no mutual respect. I often feel like Candice and Chris cross each other's boundaries a lot. They both know what bothers the other. Candice don't like to be talked to crazy, and Chris is very insecure about certain things that everyone will be insecure about. And it's Candice intentionally pushes his buttons on that, and then Chris intentionally says things to trigger Candice because she knows the anger get the best of her sometimes. And it's where is the mutual respect between y'all? They get in the car after meeting with the doctor, and he get the cursing, and she get you ain't gonna talk to me like that. And it's just do we gotta be that? Are y'all like this every single day? But it feels that way. None of this feels forced. It feels like that's just how they talk to each other. And I just don't know. I like Candice and Chris aesthetically together. I think they're very just a nice couple you see out. But it's just when they get to talking to each other, I'm just something ain't right here. I just feel like two people who love each other, who've been married for 4-5 years at this point, people who've been married for a minute now and who have known each other even longer and been together even longer, they just don't treat each other like this. I don't know. Something about Candice and Chris always rubs me the wrong way. So the next thing we have is Charisse. I want Charisse to be on Potomac like I want the IRS to audit me. I just don't see it for Charisse. I find Charisse to be messy and bored. Messy and bored, and maybe that's just me holding on to old things that I have against Charisse, from back in the day. I never liked Charisse back in the day. It just always feels like Charisse has an ulterior motive. It just always feels like Charisse is just, conniving in the back. She's always, even her and Robin, because that's where we get this scene, Robin and Charisse, they're friends, but even then it just feels like Charisse is just judging Robin, I just feel like Charisse is messy and bored. I don't know. I'm just never fully here with Charisse every time she shows up on Potomac. Something about it just feels a little fraudulent. I don't like Charisse, I'ma just say it. But they get to talking and they start talking about prenups. Robin wants to make sure her and Juan get a prenup. Here's the thing. I'm a hopeless romantic. I believe it don't matter how long you've been with somebody or how little you've been with someone, there should always be romance. There should always be an air of like, I'm in love with this person. Just the romance. I'm a romantic. I just love the romance of two people being together. Juan and Robin just don't feel like they have romance. Like, they don't feel like they have love. Like, they just, you want to know what Juan and Robin feel like? They feel like, you know those shows you watch, maybe Black Mirror episodes where it's like two people are forced to be together in a house and they have to get married. It's giving The Giver. You ever read the book The Giver? It's giving very much so that, like, why does it always feel like Juan and Robin are forced to be together? Like, every time they talk about their relationship, it feels like someone has told them they have to be together. And so, like, when they talk about each other, it's so robotic and so scientific. Like, y'all ain't nowhere near walking down the aisle and you talking about prenups and how you don't believe somebody should get half and you don't. And it's just like, where's the romance? We ain't had a scene yet where Juan and Robin are just in love and happy, you know, newly engaged. Where is that? I don't know. My opinions on getting half. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Like, I believe everyone who got some damn money should sign a prenup because, like, obviously, like, it don't make no damn sense to have all that. But I also don't give a damn. Charisse took half of her man money and, you know, whatever. And, you know, Robin lost all the wine money. So it's like, girl, maybe you owe him a couple dollars. I don't know. Like, at where we are, it will be stupid for Robin and Juan not to get a prenup because they money always funny. They money always funny. Like, if we really lining up the housewives, who's the brokest housewives in all of the housewives, like, franchises? You have Sonia in New York. Like, Sonia ain't got no money. You got some broke housewives. Like, Robin is definitely like on the broker end. She's definitely down in the bottom, you know? That's why I get a little unnerved. I get a little peeved when people say the Real Housewives of Atlanta is the brokest franchise. I believe there's a little anti-blackness in that because when you really compare the girls in all the franchises, not only is that not true, it's kind of the opposite. Who's the brokest person on Atlanta right now? I feel like Drew, Sonya, who else on that damn show? Drew, Sonya, we never know anything about Marlo's. Sheree's broke, right? Is Sheree broke? Who knows? But I don't think none of them is just like almost out of house and home. Like, they all live in homes that they own. That's the thing. Everyone on Real Housewives of Atlanta has a home that they own. And like, you can't say that about most franchises of Housewives. So I think people are just assuming it because they're saying, but like, when you stack them up to the white franchises and then Potomac, Atlanta is nowhere near the brokest franchise. I think people just say that because a lot of them women be lying. But like, the brokest franchise, like, no. Like, Drew, like, I don't think Drew got all this money, but like, Drew got more money than some of the other girls in other franchises. Like I said, Drew has a nice home and she owns a nice home, and we don't hear about Drew being in financial issues. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we be in Atlanta hearing the IRS beating down their block like we see on other. Like, be serious. I don't know, but that's not the point. The point is to say Juan and Robin need some romance in their relationship. Who is forcing the two of them to be together? And also, Robin got sick of y'all calling her a white woman. Mama went and dyed her hair and got her a little bit of a tan. Robin looks good. Robin looked really, really good. So then we get to Mia. Mia never really reigns true to me. Something about Mia doesn't fully, you know, take me there. Something about Mia just always feels a little fake and forced. And like, everyone on Housewives is fake and forced, but something about Mia just doesn't feel like it fits fully into the Potomac scene. I don't know. But anyways, we get Mia. She's having a little party because of her like do Mia got cancer or not? I'ma just be the one to say, do Mia got cancer or not? I don't have time for this storyline. I am so sorry. I do not have time for this storyline. Do Mia got cancer or not? Should I be sending prayers her way, or should we just be ignoring this and talking shit about her being dramatic? It's one or the other. Like, we don't have to do all this. Mia, do you got cancer? Do you got cancer? You don't? So what do you have? Like, answer that, and then we can move the hell on. Like, it don't have to be all of this. But she having a party because I guess she don't have cancer. I do not know. But we get to see that Mia has moved to Potomac, and she has moved into a very nice home. Decorated tacky, but I'm not one to judge. I have my own, my own little whimsical taste myself. So, like, it's tacky for me, but it's given 2012 very glitz glam era, but she likes it, so why not? I love it. So anyways, she tells us that she's renting, which, I'm not classist or elitist. Like, if you want to rent your home, ain't no, like, do what you do. Like, that is none of my business. But she says that she's renting it for $10,000. And I was talking to my man about this because he was cooking in the kitchen. I was watching it. So, like, I was talking to him about this. $10,000 seems too low for that home. And I know that sounds crazy because we're talking about $10,000 in rent, but let me tell you a little bit about myself. Well, I moved into a home, so I have a mortgage now, but before I moved into a home, I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment that was like, you do this and you could touch every wall in the home. And like, I was paying close to $2,000 for that in my city. And so her home is definitely 5 times the size of my apartment. And she lives in Potomac, one of the most affluent, what I've been told, one of the most affluent cities in Virginia. So I feel like $10,000 for that home is a little too low. Put it in perspective. There's like high-rise apartments in Atlanta that people are paying like $7,000 a month for that has like 2 bedrooms. Like $10,000 for that big ass house. It looks like it has a yard in the back. It got some yard in the front, and it's in Potomac. I just feel like that's kind of a steal. Maybe I know too much about the real estate market because I bought a house recently, but like $10,000 for, I know people like paying, look, with half the size of the house of that, and they paying close to that. Like, I just feel like she got that for a steal. I know a lot of people were probably thinking like, ooh, $10,000 for rent is outrageous. And no, I wouldn't pay $10,000 for no goddamn rent. But like, that seemed kind of low to me. I was talking to my man about that, and I was like, that seems really low because that house seems huge. Like I said, that house is definitely more than 5 times the size of my last apartment, but like the rent is 5 times the amount I was paying in rent back in my last apartment. So I'm thinking to myself like, that's interesting. That's interesting. That was literally my thoughts on that entire scene. Now, she did say she spent $65,000, getting it together. And I think putting $65,000 in a little rent place you rented is nuts. But you know what? That's her money. That's her money. You want to know what I find really like interesting about how much do people get paid to be on Potomac? I find it so interesting, like when watching Married to Medicine and stuff, when people act like these people aren't making like $1 million to be on this show. It's just like, you have money. Like, I feel like $65,000 to show your home on a show that's going to be broadcast to everyone, where you make at least $500,000 to be on. Like, it's an investment. Like, you're investing in the aesthetic of the show. So whatever, we move on. But what I did want to say about this whole scene, whatever, Mia's family is very beautiful, and she has this, it seems like, a very down to earth foundation. And I wonder why we don't get that from Mia. Like I said, something about Mia always seems a little fake, a little false. But her family just seems so real and so genuine. And I'm like, why don't we get that side of Mia ever? I wish we would. Anyways, Karen comes over. Karen gets to telling her like, girl, let me catch you up on tea. These bitches been talking about you. So when next time you come around these bitches, you better have your story ready because they coming for your ass. Which Karen is a good friend in that way. So then we get Peter on TV. Wendy is coming in. Wendy wants to start a business, a lounge. And, Peter got his bar 1, bar nuns, all of them. And so she goes to Peter because they thinking about doing business together. You would have to be holding a gun to one of my loved ones' heads to get me to go into business with Peter Thomas. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I believe the stories that Peter Thomas is shady. I have no proof of that. I have no proof of that. But just something about Peter, it just gives shady. It gives shady. I believe he spent up all Cynthia Bailey money, like opening up his bars. That I don't believe. I don't. And I could be totally wrong on that because I don't know that man. But like, no, I would never in my life get in a business with fucking Peter. And then Peter asking me for $350,000. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of me. And then he's talking about how we gonna make $8 million a year in 24 months in a lounge. Everyone knows that like restaurants and lounges and bars can be money pits. Like it takes some time to get a good foundation and to start really making income and all this stuff. And Peter talking about 8 million. I'm like, you are a snake oil salesman. And then Wendy sound like me talking about I'm gonna get the girls to, we gonna have books and we can teach education. Wendy, you too much like me, because that's what I'll be in there saying. We need to get the youth to read. Wendy do not need to start no fucking bar if this is where her head is. But I wish everybody the best in their endeavors. You want to know what bothers me about Real Housewives of Atlanta? I am not entrepreneur minded. I am not someone who has these big dreams of being this big capitalist and owning these big businesses. Not my thing. But it's so weird to me how the girls don't get on the show having a venture. I already know if I ever got on Housewives what my venture would be. I'm not telling y'all because y'all steal it. But I already know what my venture would be. And I would go 10 toes down on that venture. Do these women have no interest or hobbies that they could tap into? Because Wendy was selling candles. Was that not like, I ain't heard about the candles. Maybe the candles still exist. But like, why do girls never have something? At least Karen is like sticking to her La Dame. What was Giselle thing? I don't know. Everybody has had a thing. And I just feel like, why y'all things don't align with things y'all already do? So even when the business is going bad, y'all still can do that thing. I don't know. But Wendy want to do business with Peter, and I don't want to see Peter on my screen. I'm going to be so honest with you. Seeing Peter on my screen is nuts. And getting business advice from Peter is also nuts. I put in my notes, Ashley and Michael divorce don't make no sense. Don't make no goddamn sense. We can get on Ashley and Michael divorce. I believe what Karen is saying, that Ashley just want a house. When it was announced that Ashley was getting divorced from Michael, y'all was giving Ashley all the fucking credit in the world. She's finally leaving that man. She taking that man to the bank. I said, y'all giving Ashley too much. Y'all giving Ashley too much. Y'all giving Ashley too much. She could have left that man 3 years ago and still did the same thing because they prenup was for 5 years. Y'all giving Ashley too much. I 100% believe Karen's idea that Ashley just wants a house out of this. Ashley just wants a house. And I hear what people are saying, like, just take half of his money and go. Ashley got 2 kids. And what Ashley is thinking about is, Ashley still got a good 40 more years left on this earth, if not more. Her kids got the rest of their life on this earth. And she thinking, yeah, I take a lump sum, but like that lump sum can run out. I'm not going to be on Potomac forever. So she's thinking like, what do I do after that? One thing about Ashley has grown up in poverty. She see the way her mama live, and she's like, I'm never doing that. I'm never going back to broke. And I feel her on that. And so she's like, I gotta make sure I'm secure. Like, yes, a lump sum is nice. And like, you don't know what funds Michael is hiding. Like, this is all, I don't know that man. And I don't know that man to be doing nothing fraudulent. But like, you don't know what money he's hiding, what money he has, and all different types of things. You don't know how much that lump sum of Michael money is. She has never came out and told us how much money Michael has. So she could think to herself, like, what if the lump sum is just her getting like $5 million? $5 million ain't gonna take care of her and her kids, and not in the custom in which they have been, not into the manner in which they have been accustomed to. Like, no, so I think Karen cracked the code. She wants a house because nobody want to be in no damn condo with them 2 kids running around all goddamn day. Like, no. She wants home. She wants a home, and she likes the stability that being what Michael gives her. And so I believe that's what's going on, because that divorce don't make no goddamn sense. If you was going to divorce that man, you would divorce that man. Anyways, next thing, Giselle house pissed me off. I'ma say it. Nobody else. Giselle's home pisses me off. I don't see how these women let Giselle Bryant talk to them any old kind of way, living the way Giselle Bryant lived. Giselle Bryant home looks a fucking mess. I'ma say it looks a mess on the outside, and on the inside it looks a mess. The reason why I say on the inside it looks a mess, Giselle's house in the inside don't look like she's in like a basement. Like something about it doesn't give home. Something like the way it's lit or something, like it just has this like halogen glow to it that just gives basement. Like I don't know, like the way the walls look, it feel like cement walls a little. Like it just don't feel like you in an open and airy home. Like it gives very, did Giselle do this herself? Like it gives very DIY. Like it just don't, I can't believe these women let Giselle come around them living the way she lived. And here's the thing, having your own is better than having nothing. And I'm not judging where nobody lay their head at night. It's just Giselle talks a good game to be going home to what she go home to. I hate Giselle's home, and it feels like every time we see it, it gets worse. It feels like every time maybe it's because it just disgusts me every time I see it. So it just, something new ignites every time I see it. And then when she be talking about it, like, I just added this onto the house. But it still look a fucking mess. But you know what? If she like it, I love it. But you know, I tore it down. Let me build it back up. Her kids are just as cute as they. I love Giselle's family. And I love the relationship that Giselle has with her kids. That's all I got for Giselle. I don't like Giselle. So that's all I got for Giselle. Her kids are cute. I like the relationship she has with her kids. But that house looks a mess. I'm sorry. We moving on. So we get to like, Karen is having a spring fling party, and we get there. The biggest thing, I already got on Karen talking about Ashley, her marriage. It looks like we're gonna get a couple new girls, couple friends of the show's gonna come. The biggest thing we got here for me is Giselle admitting, finally we have gotten the answer to this. Juan and Robin don't live together. Juan live with Robin, and that is a big difference, okay? Living with someone and then y'all live together are two big things. And I am going to say this, and you can take it as it is. I am half the age of Juan, and there's no way in hell I am going to live in a home that I don't have my name on. There's just no way. I'm not driving at half his age. I'm not driving a car that don't got my name on it, and I'm not living with somebody that, like, I live in somewhere that don't have my name on it. It's just simply put just like that. Why is Juan living with Robin? Like, that just don't make any sense. We would come together and we would go get a new home. You can keep this home, do what you want. We would go get a new home, because it don't make sense no way where you split it. Let's say Juan is paying the mortgage. I'm not gonna pay a mortgage on a home that ain't mine. That just don't make no damn sense. Or you could go another way. Juan is not paying the mortgage. Ain't no man gonna live in my house and he ain't putting nothing towards the bills. So either way it's split. That don't make no damn sense. But we've always said that. We've always said, well, Kenya has always said, I don't know if y'all as messy as me. I've always said Juan needs some place to live, and that's why he with Robin. Juan needs a place to live, and that's why he with Robin. But that's just me being nasty and rude. I don't know nothing about that. And Giselle gonna always tell your business. Giselle gonna, who needs enemies when you got Giselle as a friend? Like, she gonna always tell your business. And Karen was like, ooh, catch tea. I love Karen. I am so sorry. Karen is always gonna be a mother down to me. Juan live with Robin, but we knew that, and that goes back to what I am saying again. Where is the romance in Juan and Robin relationship? Where is the romance? Where is that flame? It just don't exist. Whatever. Wendy and Giselle get to tiffing back and forth. Wendy tried to give Giselle a hug, and Giselle is like, don't do that. And I'm with Giselle. Don't be talking about me. You talk shit about Giselle all season. Now you're trying to give me a hug. But this is where, Wendy, I also got to get on you again, because here's the thing. Why do these girls be running after Giselle? If I talk shit about Giselle, it's done. Like, I don't want to be. Why do these girls continue to want to be on Giselle's good side? They will fight with Giselle, because Giselle started, let's be clear, Giselle started with Wendy. They will fight with Giselle and then go 10 toes at Giselle. And then they'll be wanting to be friends with Giselle after. What is this deep desire these women have to be friends with Giselle? Tell Giselle to go to hell. I would have never tried it, because then you look as stupid as you look trying to give Giselle a hug and Giselle dissing you. She would have never had the chance. She would have never had the chance, because I would have never talked to her. I would have never told her. It's like these girls feel like to stay on the show and be a part of the mess, they got to try to, like, be nice to Giselle. Fuck that. But like I said, y'all see the way Giselle live? Why is this the friend y'all feel like y'all have to have so much? Anyways, Mia come in, and once again, we talking about the cancer storyline, and Mia give Giselle a good fuck you, girl. And I'm with her on that. I'm gonna give Mia her 10s, like, cause that's what it really is with Giselle. Like, you really gotta meet Giselle where she at, because Giselle is very nice, nasty. And you gotta tell Giselle sometimes, like, I see what you're trying to do. Now, does Mia in her cancer story not make no goddamn sense? Yes, but like, bitch, don't come for me. Bitch, don't come for me. And so I'm with her. Karen, and then also I didn't like Giselle, because once again, who needs enemies when you have Giselle? Giselle trying to throw Karen under the bus and say Karen was talking shit about Mia, unless there was something we didn't see. Karen did not talk shit about Mia. Karen actually had Mia's back when they was down at the picnic talking about this. So don't do that, Giselle. Don't do that, Giselle, because that's how Giselle is nasty. When Giselle sees herself, you know, in the flames, she try to get other people in it too, so they can get burnt too, to get some of the heat off of her. And I see what Giselle is doing, but no, that didn't happen. That did not happen. But anyways, this was a great episode. Woo, I'm here. I'm here. I'm gonna be here. Every episode, I'm gonna be here. That was a good episode. I already saw the previews for next week. It's a bunch of mess. It's a bunch of mess, and that's what I'm here for. Like, duh. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. If you want to see more of me, hit me up on Patreon, which is As Told by Kenya, and yeah, or hit me up on Lily Reads, which is my book channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.